श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। विद्यापीठ विधातारं विद्यावारिधि चंदिरं विद्यार्थिवत्सलं वंदे महामहिम सद्गुरुं। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। In the previous part, we get to know about Madhwacharya and the interaction between him and Lord Vedavyasa in the sacred homage of Badrikashrama, where the Lord Vedavyasa himself resides. This mainly covers up the entire 8th Sarga. When we come to the gist of 8th Sarga, we mainly get to know about Madhwacharya's extreme devotion towards the Lord, his travel to Badrikashrama, his stay over there, and he prostrating himself under the lotus feet of the Lord Vedavyasa, and his study of all the Shastras and Vedas from the Lord himself, his visit to Narayana Ashrama, and the command received by him to compose the commentaries to the Brahma Sutras in order to remove all the doubts imbibed in the minds of people regarding our philosophy. These are the main events which are covered in this 8th Sarga when we get to know about it in the brief. Badari, which is highest place in India in terms of geographically, it is one of the most foremost Vaishnava Kshetra, and there is no other Punya Kshetra which is comparable to Badari. Upper Badri, where Lord Vedavyasa himself resides, there is no other Kshetra which contains that sanctity. Lower Badri itself is considered the most purest, the most sanctified place. Then no matter how could we compare Upper Badri to it, because Upper Badri is only reachable to the immortals. Hence only Madhwacharya could visit Upper Badri, because he was also incarnation of Vayudeva and he had no mortal limitations. This Badri, it is a very much purified and sanctified place. When we come to the literary part of this Sarga, it shows the excellence of the poet in this Sarga. Every day we Madhwas, we chant Vayustuti daily. When we get to know about Vayustuti is composed of 41 verses with Nakastuti prefixed to it containing 2 verses. But neither of us, we try to know at what situation was this Vayustuti composed, under what circumstances, and hardly any of us has enjoyed its literary and structural beauty. Once it so happened, Trivikrama Panditacharya was one of the disciples of Madhwacharya. Once it so happened in Udupi, he got a sight of a divine vision where he saw Lord Hanuman, Lord Bhima and Madhwacharya prostrating themselves in front of the Lords Rama, Krishna and Lord Vedavyasa respectively. I mean, in order to, if we want to say it more precisely, he saw the vision in this way. Lord Hanuman, he was prostrating himself on the feet of Lord Rama. Lord Bhima, he laid his head on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and Madhwacharya, he was worshipping Lord Vedavyasa. This way he got a very divine version on an early morning. Immediately, in high exhaustion, there itself he composed Vayustuti comprising 41 verses. After completion of this composition, he laid before this stuti for any corrections in front of Madhwacharya. Madhwacharya, pleased with this authenticity, he immediately composed 2 verses in praise of Lord Narasimha and gave it the name Nakastuti. This Nakastuti, he prefixed it before Vayustuti, which shows us the confirmation of the sacred words of Trivikrama Panditacharya. This Nakastuti, we recite it both as the beginning and concluding shlokas of Vayustuti. One more speciality of this composition is, out of all these 41 verses, composed by Trivikrama Panditacharya, they can be understood in two different ways. If we try to understand it in one way it is written in praise of Lord Hari, and when we try to understand it the other way, it resembles as if it is written in praise of Lord Vayudeva. Hence this composition is also known as Hari Vayu Stuti. This is one of the other specialty of this composition, which shows us the literary excellence of even his disciples of Madhwacharya. With the event of meeting the Lord and taking his darshan and receiving the commands, the wish of Madhwacharya was completely fulfilled. Here, the blessings of Lord on Madhwacharya and the command received by him and the acceptance of the command by Madhwacharya, from all these Madhwacharya was slowly losing the constant physical view, which means that the Lord's darshan, the physical darshan of the Lord was slowing down gradually, which means that simultaneously he had to go to his immortal world and follow his command of composing the commentaries to the Brahma Sutras. Lord Narayana advised Madhwacharya to do the thing which is completely impossible by others. His duty was for the desire of the great. Madhwacharya was commanded to comprise the commentaries to the Brahma Sutras. Already previously, many commentaries were made, but all these commentaries, they don't depict the true meaning of Vishnu Sarvottamatva, Jagat Satyatva and all. They gave the meaning, they twist the meaning of the given tangential meanings by misquoting the Shastras and Vedas, and from all these the result was the minds of the people were completely confused. They were filled with lot of anguish and dissatisfaction, and with this utter helplessness the people couldn't exactly know what our philosophy was, and complete dissatisfaction was filled in the minds of the people. So in order to remove this anguish from the minds of the people, Madhwacharya, he wanted to compose the commentaries on the Brahma Sutra so that one could easily follow this path and lead to the salvation. Madhwacharya's duty was to write the commentaries on the Brahma Sutras with the authority by quoting the Vedas, Puranas, and bring out the Vedantic truths embedded in the Vedas and Shastras. The purpose of his visit was fulfilled. Hence, from this we can understand that Madhwacharya was indeed a Bhagavad Karya Sadhaka. Vayudeva, Lord Vayudeva, by taking the three avatars, by taking the three incarnations, he functions as the foremost subordinate to the Lord. He was the one who carried out Lord's mission perfectly. First, he goes to Lord Vedavyasa. He prostrates himself as a disciple. He learns all the Shastras and Vedas from the Lord directly, and then he imparts it to the others. From this, we can understand that a disciple, if we get to know a small thing here. If a person is innocent, then he can be easily taught and satisfied. The most intelligent also can be easily satisfied, but a half-learned man cannot be satisfied even by the Lord itself. This sarga teaches us a lot. A sannyasi is always bound to take pilgrimages and visit holy places. The holy water and the holy places visited by our gurus would become more holy for us, because the padadhuli, because if they place their holy feet on that place, then that place would become more holy for us. Because Srimad Bhagavata says that holy people purify the holy waters which is polluted by other mortals. However much a person is learned or skilled, he should still endeavor, he should still strive to learn more and more from his gurus, because there is no limit to knowledge and wisdom. Madhwacharya, in spite of being a Sarvajna, still he approached Lord Vedavyasa as a disciple. He prostrated himself and he learned from him the real truth of Vedas and our allied Shastras. Adoration of Lord Vedavyasa and his avatars would chasten our minds and lead us to salvation by his grace. This method was indeed adopted by Madhwacharya, because at the time of having darshan of the Lord, we simply look at what ornaments is he wearing, how is he standing, his behavior, his look alike. That's it. But Madhwacharya, he teaches us how we must adore the Lord, how we must remember the glories of the Lord one by one. By remembering the glories of the Lord, it helps us to inculcate more bhakti in us, which again in turn leads us to the salvation. Any action, it should be based on dharmic principles, and it shows us the good precedents. Unmindful of all the perils, Madhwacharya took the journey in pursuit of the divine grace, which he got and he spread it to the entire mankind in form of his enlightening bhashyas and other works. Madhwacharya showed us the way how we should meditate and worship the Lord. Whenever we stand before the deity, we must meditate the Lord. We must remember all the glories of the Lord. Madhwacharya, he glorifies the Lord from head to toe. He glorifies each and every body part of the Lord, how it is graceful to us. From this, he not only by glorifying the entire body parts, he also remembers all the avatars, all the incarnations of the Lord. He brings upon he remembers Ramayana, birth of Lord Rama, his visit to the exile, and his killing of the entire demons, till his return to Vaikuntha, and the entire Krishna Avatara stories from Lord Krishna's birth, his Janana, and up to his return to Vaikuntha in a very beautifully glorified manner. Why does he do so? Apart from these, in addition to avatars of Lord Rama and Krishna, he even visualizes the 24 other Keshavadi avatars, Keshava, Narayana, and so on up to Sri Hari Avatara, in the divine figure of Badri Narayana itself. He took full view of the gracious Lord appearing in the form of Lord Tapasri and shining like a flame. His thoughts they flooded in the his thoughts were flooded, and there was no stop to it, counting the countless glories of Narayana. Madhwacharya visualizes him in several ways, associating his thoughts in a completely beautiful manner. However, we wonder, why did Madhwacharya did so? Madhwacharya simply he could have glorified the Lord Badri Narayana in a single avatara. He was already a mortal human being. He could have easily gained bhakti and taken the command from Lord Vedavyasa and completed his desire. However, every action has its own purpose. Why did the Lord take, and we must even get a doubt here. We could even get a doubt here. Why did the Lord himself, okay, Madhwacharya, okay, he visualized the various avatars of the God. Let us keep it aside. But why did the God himself take such numerous avatars? In a single incarnation, in a single avatara, he could have achieved what all he wanted to do, right? Why did he take so many avatars? Because we all know Lord has so much power. He could achieve all this even in a single twitch of an eyebrow. He need not take any avatara nor move or do something big. He just in a small twitch of his eyebrow, he could have accomplished everything whatever he wanted to do so. But why did the Lord do so? However, there is a purpose in the Lord's doings. Unless, see, like if we take an example, Lord Ramayana. In the story of Ramayana, Lord Rama. How do we remember Lord Rama? Lord Rama, he is born as a divine being. He is known as a symbol of dharma. So whenever we get any doubts regarding dharma, we truly signify the character of Lord Rama. Lord Krishna, whenever we remember Lord Krishna, we get to know that he is born for the destruction of evil. So in this way, unless the countless avatars of the Lord are glorified and remembered and admired, a person cannot develop bhakti. To shower His grace on all our pious souls and all of our small human beings, Lord Himself, He took the pain to take many avatars and does great deeds by setting an example to the another. There is a great saying, impressions are not lasted until well experienced. In this sarga, rather than the story part, morals are taught here. From each and every part, we get to learn something or the another which we can imbibe in our daily lives, so that we can follow the path of dharma. So the morals are taught mainly in this sarga, how the Lord must be glorified and visualized in order to attain bhakti. So whenever we stand in front of Lord in order to worship Him, we must visualize the various leelas, various incarnations of the God, so that we can get more and more bhakti, and from all this bhakti we get to follow dharma, which in turn would lead us to the path of salvation. Thank you. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.